ICE raids California on edge and on the front line. Los Angeles, CAU fear and confusion reigned in immigrant communities across California and the nation Sunday as people waited for signs of President Trump's threatened immigration and customs enforcement raids. In the past, such operations were conducted with little forewarning and early in the morning to catch people at home and unawares. However, ICE officials took advantage of the publicity garnered by the threatened raids, tweeting out a report identifying immigrants who allegedly committed serious crimes after they had already been arrested by police agencies that refused to hold inmates for ICE. All 16 cases. In the meantime, the waiting game continues. Social media. ICE is across the street at Subway. Son went to get you Pamela Patriot at Pamela Patriot. It's only 9 a.m. and I've already seen a father being taken away from his family by ICE / Jubilant at Fudgers. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents were expected to carry out raids across the country, targeting an estimated 2,000 people who have previously been ordered deported. Hundreds of people rallied against President Donald Trump's promised deportation raids in downtown Los Angeles, and in San Francisco, Mayor London Breed vowed to make sure the police department would not cooperate with the raids. Breed also reminded immigrants, if Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda L. Solis said immigrants have the right to refuse to open the door if ICE agents show up at their homes. If Solis issued a statement saying the county will everyone. The raids were originally announced in a mid-June Twitter post by President Donald Trump, but were postponed for 2 weeks for what he said was a chance for Congress to come up with comprehensive immigration reform legislation. It is unclear what there. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, R. Bakersfield, echoed that sentiment, saying ICE actions are aimed at people who have been ordered out of the country. If news of the planned raids has sparked outrage among immigrant advocacy groups, saying the move was an effort to spark unrest among immigrant families. They also contend Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti and Los Angeles Police Department Chief Michelle Moore have both insisted that city officers will not assist ICE agents in raids. Los Angeles County. A lawsuit filed Thursday in New York by the American Civil Liberties Union Foundation of Southern California and other groups alleges that constitutional due process requires the government to bring arrested families and children before an immigration judge so they can have a day in court before facing deportation. ACLU officials said the suit aims to protect refugee families and children who fled widespread violence in El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and other countries at the hands of their governments and murderous gangs. For many of these, ICE spokesman Matt Bork said the agency prioritizes. He added that 90% of those arrested by ICE's Enforcement and Removal Operations Division last year had either a criminal conviction, pending criminal charges, or had illegally re-entered the country after previously being removed. However, California is home to an estimated 2.5 million undocumented immigrants, the most of any state and about a quarter of the nation's undocumented population. City News Service and Bay City News contributed to this report.
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot bar. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.